Well, hello everybody. My name is María Calzada Pérez, and I come from the Universitat Jaume I in Castellón, Spain. My university is funding this paper, which is called Apropos of Coronavirus. Let's keep it short and simple. What is it that I'm doing here? Well, I'm studying the way in which Wikipedia represents COVID-19. And why am I doing so? Well, because coronavirus has had, unfortunately, an enormous impact upon our world, upon our lives, upon our languages. I want to study how Wikipedia represents coronavirus because Wikipedia is one of the 15 most popular websites in the world. It is very popular because it is free, it is multilingual, and it is web-based. Wikipedia is an encyclopedia. It describes knowledge, it describes reality, and when doing so, it builds knowledge, it builds reality. How am I going to do so? Well, I'm going to use corpus linguistics. Corpus linguistics is a methodology that uses electronic tools to study corpora. A corpus is a compilation of texts, and corpus linguistics, with their tools, they produce data. And because it is an inductive methodology, you study data, and from the data, you go upwards and you produce interpretations. And that's what we're going to do. Among the different kinds of data that corpus linguistics produces, I'm going to be using keywords. Keywords are items of unusual frequency in a given corpus. In other words, keywords are the most salient, the most characteristic and idiosyncratic words in a corpus. How do you generate keywords? Well, you compare your corpus against another corpus of the same language. And you use some statistical metrics like log likelihood or chi-square or alternative matrix like log ratio. And I'm using them all here, but I won't go into this. So what I have done is I have compiled two corpora. The first corpus is WikiCovid ES. And there you have all articles that have been classified by Wikipedia Spain as COVID-19 related. So in WikiCovid ES, we have 646,256 words. I've also compiled another corpus called WikiCovid EN. Here I have included all articles that have been classified by Wikipedia in English as related to COVID-19. And there we have 1,745,654 words. So as you can see, WikiCovid EN is much larger than WikiCovid ES, but Wikipedia in English is much larger than Wikipedia in Spanish, so this is only logical. Finally, what I've done is I've compared WikiCovid ES with a corpus produced by the Spanish Royal Academy of Language, and then I have also compared WikiCovid EN with a corpus that is called the British National Corpus, that it is very, very important. And by doing so, I have produced lists of keywords. So here are the results. Now, in WikiCovid EN, we have a list of the most salient 100 keywords in the corpus. There you have things like the name of the virus or the name of the illness, COVID, coronavirus, names of places, Malapuram, consequences, lockdowns. You've got artifacts to fight coronavirus, such as remdesivir. You've got institutions like the Ministry of Health and Wellness. You've got people like Whitmer or Governor Whitmer. You've got keywords that refer to the web, so things like website or YouTube, and so on and so forth. So that's 100 keywords and the most salient keywords in our corpus. If we look into those keywords, we realize that 90% are nouns in WikiCovid EN. And if we organize them and put all these keywords in boxes, in thematic topic boxes, then we get a clear picture of how Wikipedia in English represents COVID-19. So on the one hand, you've got keywords that name the virus or the illness, COVID, coronavirus, pandemic, SARS. Opposite to that box, or opposite that box, you've got another box with positive things like recoveries and wellness. And that box is associated to artifacts that bring about this positive scenario. So artifacts like PPE or ventilators or remdesivir, for instance. Those two boxes are placed along a timeline, because timeline is a keyword for WikiCovid EN. If you turn your side to the left and you look at the left-hand side corner, you see a list of names of places. Out of the 100 most important keywords, you have 49 that are names of places. Places like Kannur, Malappuram, Kozhikode, Palakkad, and so on. So as you see, these are names that are certainly not European or Western, and are also names that are not countries, but are provinces, that are districts. You see, they get closer to the territory and they don't stay at the level of countries. You also have a set of keywords that refer to places that have been affected by coronavirus, like theaters, gyms, centers. At the bottom of your screen, you have important consequences of COVID-19. And the most important consequence that is represented by WikiCovid EN is lockdown, shelter in place, self-quarantine, self-isolate or self-isolation, dine-in, stay at home, quarantine, quarantined, in person and single day. So this is the most important consequence that is represented in the English version of Wikipedia, the lockdown. At the top of your screen, you've got specific institutions such as the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the Department of Health and Human Services in the US, Standard & Poor's, Moderna, and other kinds of institutions. And also you've got specific people, so names of people like Devine, Sisolak, Whitmer, or epidemiologist Fauci. So as we see, this gives a pretty clear picture of how Wikipedia EN represents COVID-19. And all that is associated to the final set of keywords that are website, Google, Facebook, JPG, YouTube, and Twitter, that shows that Wikipedia in English is really a 21st century type of encyclopedia. It is an electronic Wikipedia, hence those keywords. Now, what happens in WikiCovid ES? Well, we have our set of keywords, and again 100 keywords there, and out of this 100, 54% are nouns, but now you've got a greater variety of pre-modifiers, adjectives, verbs, and some other key items like adverbs or links or conjunctions and so on. Now, if we then organize and put together our keywords in thematic or topic boxes, again, we find a box with keywords to name the virus or the illness, coronavirus, pandemia, but now enfermedad, illness. So this is a more general way to refer to COVID-19 through the keyword enfermedad, illness. Opposite that, you have a positive box like with keywords like response, respuesta, medida, measure, prueba, test, and so on. Now, again, that box is much more general than what happened in English, where you had a specific name of specific drugs and specific artifacts to fight coronavirus. And then all that is placed along a timeline. But this time, there is a very salient trend in WikiCovid ES relating or referring to time. So time now is named in a very particular manner. WikiCovid ES refers to momento, moment, días, days, semana, weeks, month, mes, and then on all the names of months, marzo, mayo, septiembre, agosto, and so on and so forth. So time is referred to in a more specific manner in the Spanish version of the Wikipedia. If we turn our side to the right and we look at to the left and we look at the left-hand side corner, we see now places. And now these places remain at the level of countries. In fact, the word countries, países, is a key word in WikiCovid ES. But you've got other keywords that are names of specific countries like Estados Unidos, República China, and then Mexico, Madrid. So as you see, we do not go into provinces or districts. We now stay especially at the level of the country. And you also have other places that have been affected by COVID. Before, in WikiCovid EN, we had a gym, we had theaters, but here we have home, schools, and businesses. At the bottom of your screen, you've got the consequences of COVID-19. And the most important trend there is that of death, dead, and dead. Muerte, muertes, muertos, fallecidos, you see. Quarantine is there, but this trend associated with death was not present in the English counterpart of the Wikipedia. At the top, we have, again, institutions like the WHO organization, but also more general terms like department or system. And then you also have people that are associated with COVID-19, but again, more general terms to refer to people. We do not have names now. We have keywords like persona, ciudadanos, hombre, or médico, doctor. Doctor was not present in our WikiCovid EN corpus as a keyword, but it is a keyword in WikiCovid ES. And we've got other words, I won't go into that, but these other words show that the Spanish Wikipedia is a more traditional type of Wikipedia. And I won't go into this because we do not have time. So to put an end to this, let's see that WikiCovid EN and WikiCovid ES produce two different representations of COVID-19. WikiCovid EN puts an emphasis on places, WikiCovid ES on time. WikiCovid EN gets closer to the territory and names provinces and districts. WikiCovid ES remains at the level of countries. WikiCovid EN uses more specific key terms, names, specific resources, like specific drugs that are used to fight coronavirus, whereas WikiCovid ES has or uses more general terms like persona, hombre, caso. WikiCovid EN can be seen, WikiCovid EN shows that Wikipedia in English is a 21st century genre associated to electronic means of communication, whereas WikiCovid ES is related to more traditional types, to a more traditional type of encyclopedia. The most important trauma that Wiki-COVID-EN shows is that of the lockdown. The most important trauma that Wiki-COVID-ES shows is that of deaths. Finally, this presentation is dedicated to those who have died of coronavirus. Thank you very much for your attention. And if you have any questions, I will be most glad to answer them.